Mine Your Biz, you want to know about mining silver, you want to know about mining gold, he's not your guy. But if you want to know about mining cryptocurrencies or security, he's got that great info. But Bill Murray, he's short about $185,000. I wanted to read off from, this is breaking. This happened right before we went live. Bill Murray's NFT charity auction, if we could share this tweet, nets $185K, which is then immediately stolen. I won't read off everything, but most of it here. Bill Murray auctioned off an NFT representing the right to drink a beer with him, and during which a painter will paint a picture of the scene that you could then buy. The auction will benefit Chive Charities. It is a veteran first responder focused nonprofit. I did think it was for baked potatoes. The NFT sold for 119 ETH. However, hours after the auction, a hacker gained access to Murray's wallet, snagged the ETH for themselves, and then tried to steal 800 NFTs from the collection. His security team was able to safeguard the NFTs in time. The team confirmed the theft and said they're working with police and chain analysis to identify the hacker. Mind Your Biz, you're one of our main security people we have on this show. What is the most likely attack vector for this theft here? What is the attack vectors that people should worry about? Because it's easy to worry about, like, oh, what if MetaMask is hacked? Well, then the whole world is effed. But what's the common enterprises that people will use to steal your funds?
Well, first off, let me start by saying it's always a pleasure to hang out with the Bit Squad and to spend time on Around the Blockchain. It's great being able to hear the opinions and the thoughts and the perspectives of other professionals in the space. A lot of great people that are on the panel today, so it's always a pleasure. And today, it's a special pleasure. I don't often get to be on the show with Stash, and I've never been on the show with Maren before, so this is a lot of fun. And of course, big pay. So thanks for having me. I think one of the most common, and I apologize, I'm out of breath. I've just been...
You're getting heated. You really care about Bill. You know, you just got done with your Groundhog Day marathon. You know, you're ready.
I hate to admit it. At this moment, I don't care at all about what happened to Bill. He's going to be all right. He's going to make it. So, but for the folks at home, what's going to happen to you if you do some of the same stuff that he did? More than likely, what he left on was permissions for certain smart contracts and certain addresses. You need to revoke permissions. Doesn't matter what wallet you're using. Doesn't matter if it's a software wallet, a hardware wallet, or something in between. If you're using MetaMask with a hardware backing, you just have to revoke permissions. So a lot of people get wrecked by doing this because they just don't know. They think it's as simple as, you know, backing things up in a hardware wallet using Ledger Live or using the Treasure Suite or something. They just don't protect you. You still have to decide to close the door, so to speak, on old smart contracts and old websites where you've given permissions. So remember to revoke permissions. I'm pretty sure that's what happened here. Without actually like talking to his team or whatever, it does seem pretty cut and dried, but he just didn't revoke permissions. And so there was a vulnerability. The smart contract may have also been a problem, but very unlikely because this is a cut and dried ERC 721, maybe a 721A. This is the kind of stuff that people like Bill Murray, he normally has a guy for that. So if it really did come down to the smart contract being insecure, I would be shocked. I think it's probably more revoking permissions, and it's something anybody who's here in the Bit Squad is going to be intelligent enough to figure out. So are you guys smarter than Bill Murray? You are now.
You know what? Let's do a quick lightning round. We haven't done this in forever. Maren, I'm starting with you. Any celebrity, they have to be alive. Who are you having a beer with?
Oh my God, I don't drink and I don't drink beer, so it's kind of funny.
Who are you having duels with?
Celebrity. I mean, I don't know if they're considered a celebrity, but Marcus Aurelius.
Okay, you know what? We'll accept dead now. Hey, he has good meditations. I bet he's probably pretty good at yoga too. All right, big pay.
Yeah.
Who are you going with, alive or dead? Who are you drinking a beer with?
So my first thought was Charles, but I've already had a drink with him. And my next thought is pretty basic.
Name drop.
It's Joe Rogan. It's Joe Rogan, man.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
With that guy.
Yeah, he'll probably spike it with some CBD oil. Crypto Stash, who are you having a beer with?
You opened the whole thing up for me, man, when you said, okay, now it can be alive or dead. So I'm going to have to give you two. Alive, Dave Grohl, 100%. Dead, Sean Connery. You know, shaken, not stirred, maybe.
Yeah. Make sure he's nice to the waitress because he's been known to slap a lady. Mind Your Biz, who are you going with, alive or dead?
I mean, now, first off, I'm a bit like Maren, teetotaler. I guess you could just say I'm sober a lot of years, so please stop with the triggers there. But yeah, alive, it would Joe Biden. Dead, it would also be Joe Biden. Next question.
Okay. Crack pipe. Who are you smoking with, Mike? I'm joking, of course.
You
All right.
might get both of them. You could literally get both of them maybe this year, bro. You're lucky.
Right.
China is basically the puppet controller of Binance. He had to respond to some allegations that it is owned by the Chinese secret agent. Miss Chen is what we're going to go with her last name there. And then he was saying, no, this employee is part of our organization because we need a Chinese national to operate and then have operations in mainland China. He was saying he left China at the age of 12, since naturalized as a Canadian citizen, and started Binance after the Chinese government cracked down on his original company. So he's saying these allegations totally not representing what he stands for. Gross misconstruing his real intentions here. Now, MineYourBiz, when it comes to a FUD story like this, what do you think is the best way to tackle something like this? Is it to address it head on and come out front facing, hey, this is my statement? Or is it better to just maybe ignore it and just hope it'll disappear?
I mean, I think usually it's best to contact Elon Musk, ask him if he's got any spare rockets lying around. You can get yourself into lower Earth orbit and just cool all your jets for a minute. I'm glad you brought that up, DZ, because running away is always an option. I appreciate what CZ did here, though, by not running away. Taking this kind of thing head on is usually the best thing, right? So, like, there's only so many ways you can do that. You can get ahead of it by saying, oh, well, actually, we did have one of several corporate entities that was formed in maybe this Asian territory, or just like trying to let people know what the full story is. I mean, it doesn't make CZ look any more or less guilty by talking about it right now. He's trying to set the record straight. So if you're asking what's the best possible course of action for PR, yeah, you nip it in the bud. You get ahead of it. And I think CZ's doing the right thing here. I think him talking about how Binance has never strictly been like a Chinese company, how it's not been primarily located in China, how it's not even ever technically been even had one of its satellite locations or one of its fallback corporate filings take place in mainland China. That's smart too. It's a good opportunity to wipe the slate clean, set the record straight, and just let people know, like, all the FUD that's been mounting since the early Tether days, all the FUD that's been mounting since, I mean, CZ said some ignorant things too. He's not perfect, right? Nobody is. Nobody bats 1,000 when they have to manage a company and they're that visible. Totally possible to stick foot in mouth. And CZ's done it, right? Like, the cefi fund was a good move, but a bad move was, like, for example, asking for Bitcoin miners to roll back the chain. I think there had been times where he's thought he had more goodwill stored up for himself than maybe he did, but he can be forgiven for that. I think allegations of him being some kind of like a CCP plant or a spy, they do seem far-fetched. And I think that a lot of this kind of the PR sort of reaction, I think a lot of this is a chain reaction from all this crazy stuff that we're hearing surrounding the Avalanche disclosures and the videos of Roche Friedman. So I'm not shocked at all that this is kind of like that there's still some intense scrutiny that CZ has to deal with. And I'm not surprised at all at his posture of just leaning in, because that's what strong leaders do.
Oh, good point there. All right, still talking about this Cardano burning MineYourBiz. A lot of people saying, how good it is when there's a token burn, tons of retweets, there's a rocket ship emoji, MineYourBiz. It must be bullish. Are there benefits for this, or is it all just fluff? You know what? We minted too many coins to begin with. What are the actual benefits, though? Tell me something that I don't know. Why? There's got to be a good reason, right?
Well, I mean, so I appreciate that you care to hear my opinion on this. What I'll say from a miner's perspective, and having seen this already play out over in Ethereum land with EIP 1559, and now with the pending merge over on Ethereum again, the proposed reduction of any kind of miner rewards, whether it's proof of work or proof of stake, almost always gets made up for in the gas fee marketplace. And let me kind of spell that out a little more for anybody in the Bit Squad that doesn't know what I'm talking about. So EIP 1559, which rolled out on Ethereum some months ago. It's been over a year now. Time flies. But the miners that were hip to what was actually happening behind the scenes, we all jumped onto a joint live stream. All of us, people who are building our own independent brands. You had Son of a Tech, you had Red Panda Mining, you had myself, you had so many others, Bits Be Trippin', and we had Tim Bako from the Ethereum Core Developer Group jump onto a live stream with us so we could really figure this thing out. And it turns out that miner extractable value, or maximum extractable value, this separate value that can be injected into the gas fee marketplace, was very likely to grow the block reward back up, even though EIP 1559 was a proposed burn every single block. That this one little thing, this one little exploit was probably going to grow the fees that were being paid out to miners all the way back up to levels that they were before the fee burn. We made that prediction together on stream. All of us, we kind of agreed like, oh yeah, we see it. There's definitely a way for these fees to go back up. Lo and behold, EIP 1559 hit. What happened to the fees? You remember because you were trying to mint NFTs. Y'all remember because you were trying to do DeFi, right? We were still in the middle of DeFi summer, moving into DeFi summer 2.0 with lower fees, but still bemoaning the high fees of Ethereum. Fees didn't go down, right? We predicted it. We told you. We talked to the developers directly, and miners kind of figured it out. Like, oh yeah, we're not worried about it because our rewards will stay the same. And I suspect that we're going to see the same thing no matter what the smart chain is. Wherever you have incentive to grow the block reward, the block subsidy, there will be a way, and especially when there are smart contracts involved, there will be a way to arbitrage that gas fee marketplace so that it kind of comes out even. And whether it's miners or stakers, the people who are expecting to get paid ensure that they get paid. So I hear news like this, and DZ, I think it's a nothing burger. Personally.
Okay. All right. Well, that is all we got time for. And it looks like MineYourBiz won big pay. I'm going to have to give you that $20 back. I know you bribed me. But MineYourBiz, he ended up winning it fair and square. Feel free. Take us into this holiday weekend.
Well, hey, I appreciate that. I'm kind of wondering still how Marin dropped all that alpha and her score didn't move up a single point. So I'm just saying I kind of feel like I stole this one, Marin.
It was a bonus question. I sandbagged the bonus questions there. I have to.
I still appreciate that. So, hey, thanks for having me back on Around the Blockchain. Always great being here with the crew. Such diversity of opinion, thought, background, experience, and expertise. Good Lord. I could not do what any of these people do on their channel. So, obviously, I want you to go and take a look at them. But please do me a solid and take a look at this right here, sub.myb.lol. That'll sub you to my channel where I talk about a 360-degree view of the markets, including mining coins. There is a case for mining if you're into that. So, appreciate you giving it a shot. DZ, I really appreciate having me back on. And Bit Squad, thanks for letting me, steal your boys for a couple minutes here.
Oh yeah, just because it says .lol doesn't mean it's a laughing matter. All right, that is all we got time for. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, other friends across the pond. We'll be back Tuesday. Easy out.